Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to this program. It's African Art with Eric. My name is Eric Amoakwa-Boadu, and on this channel, we bring you everything to do with Black art from around the world. It doesn't matter whether you are on the continent of Africa or you are in Honolulu, as long as you present Black ideology, Black creativity. This is where we talk about. So, this day, I bring you a good friend of mine from the country of Ghana. He's a great artist, and I'm going to read his bio very, very shortly. But before I do so, I want you to share this video. I want you to subscribe to my channel. I want you to just do everything possible to make sure that the message that we are sending with regards to Black creativity reaches far and wide. So I'm going to play the intro again, but do me a favor and share the video or subscribe or send the link to a friend. So yeah, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So the artist that I'm going to bring today is somebody who I've followed for quite some time, and his name is Ametefe Kukubor. We call him Amet. But I'm going to read his bio so that we can get on with the show because I can't wait to actually hear his side of the story. So Amet Kukubor, born in 1984 in Ghana, lives and works in Accra, which is the capital city of Ghana. He found drawing therapeutic as a very young boy and a hobby that served as an escape from the real world. Following his passion for drawing and portraiture, he enrolled in the acclaimed Ghanata College of Art and Design, where he majored in painting. After graduating in 2006, Kukubor steadily progressed in his art career, exhibiting his works at the National Museum, African Region Hotel, Golden Tulip Accra, Ghana, and Novotel Accra City Center. His work is influenced by his experiences and surrounding environment. Having lived in numerous vicinities in Accra over the years, Amet's work has been heavily imprinted by the immense pool of memories of the different people and environment he encounters. He shares ideas and stories that celebrate existence, invoke thought, and spark open-minded discussions. His techniques employs expressionism and impressionism to depict his bittersweet narratives. His application of paint with squeegees of different sizes results in short tiles of acrylic paint with which he forms his subjects. Amet's work comprises an undercoat and an overcoat, with some portions of the main subject left untouched to expose the first coating, a style adopted to communicate the great influences our surroundings have on us and how we are in one way or another merged with our immediate environment. So Ahmed's work has been exhibited around the world, and I'll let him tell him what I'm going to do is take it again because I think my mic was muted earlier on, but I'm going to read through Ahmed. Guys, if you do not know about AMET and all that I read, I'd like to invite you on. AMET, welcome to this show. I think the first part that I read about your biography was muted, but hopefully they heard everything about what you did. If they didn't do it, I'll go through it as we speak as well. But welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Great, great, great. It's good to have you on finally. I've been following you for some time and the wonderful work that you do. Great, great. Can you hear me all right? Is the sound okay? Is everything okay?
Okay, having a little
Can you hear
challenge
me?
with the.
Oh, okay. Is the sound okay now?
I hear you now.
You can hear me. Great,
The
great,
sound
great.
is
So I was saying
just
that it's good to have
being
you.
on and off
Yeah.
a little bit.
Oh, is it? All right.
Yeah.
I was saying that it's good to have you on this
Oh,
show.
thank you
I've been
very
following your painting for some time.
much. It's also great to be on your show. I've also been
Great,
following you
great.
for a quite time now.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So today we're going to talk about everything with regards to your art, everything to do, even more to do with yourself, because the world would like to know about Amet. Your full name is Daniel Ametefe Kukubor, but we all love to call you Amet. Why do we call you Amet?
Where I grew up from, because of it's Ametefe, they call me Ametefe, but they mostly call me Amet. So in my art career, I decided, no, let me go with the short form, the AMET, because that's what people are mainly known me of. So I choose the AMET with the short form of AMET, Ametefe.
Exactly.
So
I guess it
that's
makes
where
it
I
simple
derived it
for
from.
those around the world as well to just I like that because that's a very signature name kind of. So, guys, within the show, we might have challenges with regards to the sound because Amet is in Ghana, I'm in the UK, and we might have a bit challenges, but we'll overcome it and still have the show go on because we'd like to know more about Amet. So, Amet, if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up, and then we'll carry on with the interview. You can hear me, can you?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Ahmed can hear me. There's just
I
a
can hear
little
you
bit
very
of
well.
delay. Yeah, there's a bit of a delay in there. So tell us about yourself, how you grew up, and how you actually got into this creative career. Because we like to take it from the beginning. Tell us about it.
Okay. My name is Daniel Ametefe Kukubor. I was born in Accra in 1984. Um, I went to JHS. I grew up around the neighborhood around Circle, and that's Audomen Estate. That's where I grew up from. I went to school at Kanishi, and I went to Kanishi 1 JHS. After that, I was supposed to go to SS, but because of financial difficulties, I decided to continue my education at Ganata College of Arts. And but before how it started, I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you, yes. We can all hear
Hello,
you.
can you hear me?
We can, yes. We can
Okay.
hear you.
So as I was growing up uh, in my primary school, I do drawings a lot. I like to sketch. I like to draw. Most of the time, I go to the those movie theaters and
Mm.
the posters that they've painted. I also do try to paint. So I grew very close to those kind of things, and I was drawing a lot. Hello, are we still on? Yeah. Hello,
We're still on. You can carry on.
you can hear me?
Yes. Carry on with the story. We're listening.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. So through that, I was doing a lot of sketches. I was doing drawing, and I love it so much. So as time goes on, as I went to JHS, I went to primary school, I was doing drawing for my classmates. We are doing pre-tech. I do mostly of the pre-tech for my colleagues. And sometimes they give me money for my lunch. So I was making business then, in quite a while now. So as I completed SHS, I told my mom I wanted to further my art career because they know me as an artist. I always draw, and they know that's my passion. So when I told my mom I wanted to an art school, they said, "Okay, do you know any art school that you want to go to?" Because mostly some of the artists, a lot of them, their parents denied them of going to art school because they wanted them to go to maybe be lawyer, be a doctor, be an engineer. Yes,
tell me
but
about it.
In my case, it wasn't like that. When I told my mom, this is what I want to do, she said, okay, oh, that's good. So I told him about Ganata. There is this guy who went to Ganata. He's called Daniel Dapa in our neighborhood. So I went to him and he told me, oh, this is where the school. So I went there with an uncle, and when I went there, I introduced myself. They took me through a little practicals, and so they enrolled me in. So from there, that's where my art career started. And I completed in 2007. From there, I moved on. I did a little bit of printing and on pre-jives and mingles. I did screen printing. From there, I went to New Horizon Special School as money. I helped a child with a special need, with an autistic child. So from there, I became an art teacher over there. Through there, I decided to come full-time as an artist. That was in 2009 there. I decided to do full-time. So from 2000 full-time.
Okay. So if we heard you correctly, from 2009, you've been a full-time artist, basically.
2010.
2010 is when you started.
I became a full-time artist in 2010.
That's amazing. And since then, you've never looked back. So the other question is, if you can hear me, with all the challenges that you faced when you were growing up, or looking at the resistance of some parents when it comes to entering into art or taking it as a career, why did you still pursue that career? What was in you that made you still think that, okay, even though some may think that it's not a good prospect, I'll still pursue that as a life career? What made you do that?
I think we're having a little bit of challenge here. Your
in the sound
is breaking.
All right. Oh, okay. Do you want to turn off your mic?
Okay.
So what I've done is I've also unplugged my mic. Let's make sure. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you now. Oh, I think this one is better.
Good. Yeah. Good. This one is better. So we'll stick to this one.
So you can come with the question again.
Hopefully there wouldn't be any more sound challenges. So
no.
Maybe it was from my end. You never know. So I was saying that with all the challenges, and then knowing that a lot of parents thought that art is not a good prospect and all that, as a young person, what made you still pursue this career? Because a lot of people in Africa, when I was growing up in Ghana, a lot of people were saying, no, art is not a career that you'll get enough money in when you pursue it as an adult. But what made you still push to pursue that?
Mine is I've not known any other career apart from art. And my parents also know that. So it was difficult to convince them, to tell them about any other career apart from being an artist. So for me, it wasn't that difficult. because they known me for that. So it was just simple. When I told my mom, because my father died before I was born, so I was raised by my mom. So she has known me all my life, and she when I told her that, she didn't hesitate.
That's
she
right.
said,
Because
okay,
you are an artist. It's something that you've been doing. Yes. No, it's great to know. It's great to know. And I think through that
it wasn't difficult at all.
You've really adopted certain techniques and skills. Can you tell us more about the material that you use and also the your style, basically? What's your process?
My process, my technique started with the background. There's a charcoal at the background. So I started with the charcoal and the acrylic. So I have the ones that I do with charcoal. It's the same background, and I added the charcoal. So I have acrylic and charcoal, and I have acrylic on acrylic. So with the charcoal, I use charcoal, graphite, pencils, and other stuffs too. So that one is a mixed media. I keep that one too, and I have the one that I do with only acrylics, with a squeegee and a little bit of brush strokes somewhere. But mostly I use the squeegee with the technique.
That's amazing. So with regards to charcoal, do you use a very traditional charcoal that we have, or any refined charcoal?
No, the refined one. I have the graphite. I have it's a mixed media. So some of the works, you will see the background. There's a graphic behind the background, and I always want my background to be something that you can relate with. So if with the graphic, you see my background is like my surrounding. So you have the hot, the cold, warm, and any other. You meet a lot of people in your surroundings. So the warm people, the hot people, and the middle ones, and other stuff. So
different kinds of people.
Yes. So it's a whole lot of action in my background, and I put my subjects on it. And sometimes some of the backgrounds are being left untouched. Just to know how your immediate surroundings have influence on your life sometimes, and other things as well.
So that's quite interesting.
But initially, mostly I locate some of the things that I do in my work. Previously, when I was teaching at the New Horizon Special School, with the kids with special needs, they love to fix puzzles a lot, especially the autistic ones.
Yes.
And I grew much attached to them. I'm very good with puzzles. Very, very good with puzzles, I would say. And initially I was painting in the form of puzzles. But as time goes on, I wanted to play around, do things that I will be able to express myself more. So I moved to this technique. I employed from many other artists. I mostly look up to one of the artists in Nigeria, Ibiananaba, and Forka, Afonso Konado, and other artists that I could lay my hands off that work within my terrain. So I get a lot of ideas from those people. So when I decided to work this way, I have to look through the way they work and how their process and approach goes. So I will also know how to adapt mine and be able to know how to work around it. So it has been a journey. So as I was trying, I knew I had done printing. I did screen printing, and I said, okay, since I'm very good at that one too, let me inculcate. Why not use the tools and the tools I use for screen printing in my painting? So that's where I came about with the squeegee, because I have been a printer, and it works fine for me. Instead of using the wet knife, I chose the squeegee. To make it more.
So when it comes to your paintings, you use predominantly a squeegee, and you don't necessarily use a palette knife or a brush as your main tool. Your squeegee is what you use.
The palette knife I use to scoop the paint, mix my colors,
Yeah.
Application goes with the squeegee. Yeah.
That's amazing. Have you got a squeegee lying around? For people who don't know what a squeegee is, can you show us a squeegee?
Yes, I have. I have.
Great.
I have a
So
bigger
he's
one.
going to show us a squeegee. He's going to bring us a squeegee on screen so that we know what a squeegee is. For those that do not know what that tool is, a squeegee is used mainly in printmaking to, spread the paint along the mesh. But he's going to show us.
So this is the squeegee.
Okay.
So this is the squeegee
that
I use.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've got
I have
different
other
sizes,
ones that I have that are different sizes. So the squeegee, I can cut them in different sizes, in different portions, and that is it. So this is what I use in painting.
Amazing. Amazing. And a lot of artists, when you speak to them, you start mentioning names of people that you looked up to. A lot of African artists do mention Western names. Those are, the Pablo Picassos, Vincent van Gogh, and all those people. Did you have any Western influence as well as African influence?
Yes, I did. This artist, Idiama is one of the artists I also look up to because he also has a similarity in work, but not the approach. So I look up to Idiama and Ibiananaba from Nigeria. And the ones that, and mostly I do look up to or other Western artists as well because they have a lot of materials and the ways of going about it, and they teach a lot too.
Yes.
The reason they do teaching a lot. Most of the time you go to their page and they're teaching you how to control your brush, how to control this, how to apply this, how to do that. So mostly they influence a lot of artists a lot because of their teachings. Exactly. If we could have a lot of African artists who does most of that, I think it will help the young ones, the young upcoming ones too. So I think that's the main reason most of the artists do that.
And I think you will be one of them that will be teaching this technique of yours as well for the younger artists to follow. You've done so much in a period of time, and I think it has paid off. I mean, you've appeared on major platforms. You've got your work featured in Mado's Gallery in London, for instance, and you had Christies, one of the major auction houses, in some of your work as well. How does it make you feel?
Oh, you feel so great. At least you know that you are doing something. Because if you're working and your work is not going anywhere, sometimes you get frustrated as an artist. But as time goes on and you see you are progressing, meaning people are talking about your works, people are noticing what you do, then it keeps you going, it keeps you motivated. So I think it's a good thing to see that, and you know that, oh, you are doing something good, so you should keep it up. Yeah.
Well done for pushing the boundaries, and amid all the challenges, you actually have a language, an art language that people would want to buy. I mean, to see your work in Christie's, it made me so happy, and to have it in Mado's Gallery in London. For those of us in the UK, we respect that gallery so well. So well done. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
If I'm a young artist, for instance, a young Black artist, and I would like my work to be seen by the Western world, what do I have to do? Let's say if I want to get into Christie's, for instance.
You need to work and work and work. That's the only thing I can say, because it's about work. We started working not now, and a lot of artists has been working before us, but the thing is, you persevere. You look into the market, what people are doing, how to incorporate things into your work, and how because you need to read a lot to know what is happening, what people are buying, people are selling, and if that is, it's a business, although it's a career, but it's also a business. There's a business aspect of it, and there's a other aspect that, oh, this is what I do at. But if you don't add a business aspect to it, you might be at a particular place or thing will lead to the other. So I think we should do more inquiries, get to know what people are doing, what people are collecting, and we want to adapt and also inculcate a lot of things into what we do. And I think that will also pave way for us.
I like the way you've put it, because I was going to ask you how you actually combine your artistic visual vision to the commercial marketing aspect of art. But you've already answered it. You have to really be reading about what the market wants. Even though you as an
Yes,
artist has a vision for where your work goes, the awareness of the marketplace also has to be there, isn't it? Otherwise,
yes,
you print and
yes,
it won't
yes,
be there for yourself.
yes. So that would be useless. So for you to be
Exactly.
painting and not being noticed, and it's difficult though. But I think sometimes the perseverance and consistency also works.
Okay,
So if you are working and you think, oh, maybe this is not working, I think the consistency also sometimes work very well for
that's
people
right.
to know this guy has been working this way for a while now, and I think it's time we give it a thought.
Great.
So it's 50-50. Sometimes you
50-50,
cannot
isn't
say
it?
this
But
is
I think yeah, the main thing that you said was that you have to keep working. You don't have to stop
yeah.
working. You have to just keep going,
No.
and ultimately will pay
Yeah.
off. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
So I think one of the major things that you did last year, between October and November, was your work at Gallery 1957, and you had a major
Yes.
exhibition, a solo exhibition. Come on, that's really good, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. It feels so
Can you
great.
tell us more about your
And
your your exhibition that you held?
you said
Can you tell us more about this exhibition, your preparation towards it, and how the whole exhibition went?
it went great. From
Good.
the beginning, immediately that was my first solo show and
Yeah.
my first residency too. So as I went to the studio, everything was a little bit new to me because
Mm.
my studio is at home. I have a
That's
space where I work at home.
yeah.
So I can move from my studio to the kitchen, go make breakfast or go do some tea
That's right.
and being in no man's land. It was a little bit
It's different, isn't
it was
it?
a little bit difficult from the beginning. So, but I have to adapt.
Yeah.
Anywhere you get yourself to, you should be able to adapt as an artist.
Mm.
You should be able
Mm.
to do all those kind of things. So, but from the beginning, I will have to put one or two things, three things together and know what I am doing. So it was a little bit of challenge there, but as time goes on, I knew what I wanted to do and the things that I want to do. So I kept pushing, and the works came out great because I
Okay,
knew what I wanted to do over there. So
that's good.
it's
So
also
let's talk
planning.
about the process of residency. Did they invite you? How did it all happen? A lot of people are trying to get into 1957, but your work spoke and you got there. But how did you get there to be in
I
residency?
will I will say grace. I will say favor because I'm not the only artist working. There are a lot of artists working. For me to be chosen among all these artists, it's by grace. And I will say a very big thank you to the Almighty for giving me that kind of opportunity.
That's
Uh,
right.
and a friend of mine is called Anan Afote.
Mm.
From the beginning, when this black art came up and things started booming up in the turning up the industry.
That's right.
I spoke with him. I spoke with him, and he told me, "Look, you are not doing anything different from what people are doing now.
Yeah.
All you need to do is to look at the kind of concept they are working with. Then you go with the concept. You are not changing your technique. You are not changing your style. So just look at the concept and see how best you can also work in." So he was one person that also motivated me a lot, gave
Mm.
me, so we spoke a lot. And after I've done a couple of works, he posted it on his Instagram story.
Okay.
And yes, the manager, the Mawan, the one at Gallery 1957, saw it and they told him, who is this artist? He wanted to work with me. So that's where he started from. So from there, we started picking up, and that's it. So they found me. They saw my, they loved it, and they wanted to work with me. So I didn't pull any string. All I did was to work.
That's it. I like that. You have to work. I mean, there's nothing that beats work. So thank you to Ananafote as well for laying that the groundwork, for posting it on his Instagram. It's good to have good friends. I'm telling you, friends that will push you.
Yes.
So an advice for the young ones is have a network of fellow artists who will encourage you, as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Exactly. So this exhibition went on really well, and I'd like us to single out individual pieces that you showed at this exhibition, and then we'll talk about each one of them. Feel free to talk about the process, how you thought about each piece, and what you were trying to communicate. So I've shown two pieces on screen now. Can you tell us a bit about the one on the left?
The one on the left.
Yes.
Yes, it's a guy at the poolside observing the women. Sometimes when you don't want people to see what you are looking at, you put on a dark shade. I see a lot of guys do. What I do is the things I paint are my surroundings, the things I see around me, the kind of things people do. So I paint more of those kind of things. So it's a way of communicating to people, telling people what's happening now and what people are doing. So it's a communication. Sometimes it becomes a time capsule. That's this is what's happened this time of this era. This is what is happening, and so mostly I communicate mostly through my paintings and in the kind of subjects I use. So that's one of them. And the right one, the one on the right, it's the guy with the flower. There's those ones, it's we Africans, we find it very difficult. When I was growing up, mostly we don't value flowers. We just see them and we be kicking them on the roadside, just playing with them, love them and we play with them and all sorts of things. As we were growing up, flowers has become one thing that people cherish a lot, and we've come to adapt it. And there's this program that has been airing going on mostly, a Ghana Garden and Flower Show. And it has enlightened people a lot about flowers. Some of the flowers are very expensive. And I'm like, hey, this thing, those days we used to just play with it. Yes. You see, so some of these things has been an eye-opener. And we've grown attached to these things that normally appreciate. Now we appreciate them now. And we even use money, we buy them, and we tend to take care of them.
That's right.
Not previously, but now this is what is happening, and this is how the things are going. So I tend to communicate the kind of things that are happening and seeing around me and my painting.
So do you normally or how do you get let's say the male figure, for instance, let's look at it again. This person looks very alike. It's like the same person. Do you normally have
No, it's not the same person. So most of the time, sometimes I can pick my subject. I can decide. I mostly look through Instagram, friends, and other stuff. Sometimes I have the camera that I can take a picture of friends and other things. Sometimes I might look at the subject and I'm like, okay, this one I can work with something like this. So I will just sketch and make it my own way. Just put the expressions and the way that I want it to be. So I sometimes pick subjects and play with it. Sometimes I take pictures with friends and other things as well. So,
that's interesting. So sometimes you just go on Instagram, find a picture that interests you. They pose, then they move.
But sometimes I might just be watching like be on Instagram, I look at the subject, I'm like, okay, this post talks about this kind of thing that I have in mind already. Then okay, then if I put it this way, then it's okay. So you get like this from so many places. Everywhere I go, even the kind of conversation we are having right now, me talking to you right now, I'm getting a lot of ideas.
Ideas coming out.
I might come up with something. So that's how we work as an artist. Wherever you find yourself, you need to create something out of that environment. So
exactly. So what Ametefe said is that for those of you that didn't hear, wherever you find yourself, you need to create something out of it. And that's the power of your imagination at work right now. And let's move on to the next two pieces. Yeah. So these two pieces, very, very, very vibrant. I can see your art language peeping through. You did mention that sometimes you leave some of the background in your artwork, and I can see that in here right now. How do you achieve it?
Yes. Is that?
So how do you achieve leaving the background to be part of the story?
So mostly the background is what I start first. And my background is, I think some people, mostly people say it's somebody's complete abstract work, because I put a lot into the background.
Right.
So I put a lot into the background that makes it solid. So when I leave them untouched, it's become part of the painting, and you might think, oh, this one was done intentionally. Yes, it's done intentionally. That's an idea of doing the background that way. So my background almost had a lot of colors, and the way I play with it, it's a whole work on its own. So it's very intentional. Very, very.
So looking at the painting on the left-hand side, is the background showing through the leaves on the top left-hand side? Is that what you would term as a background?
Yes, where you see there's a little bit of flower, it looks like a flower. Yes, that's the background, and the chair has a lot of the background too as well. But I have to depict it more in the way you can see that there is a sofa.
That's right.
Over there.
So that's beautifully captured with the beautiful lady. The one drinking the coffee on the right-hand side is also an amazing one. And now that you've trained my eyes, I can see that the background is in the circle at the top right-hand corner. Is
it? Yes. And when you zoom it too, you can see there's a little pieces of the background just piercing through the work itself. So
amazing. We have a comment coming in from Ernest. Ernest says, I love the colors in the pictures. That's one thing in the US. We don't use the same vibrant colors. Great work. So Ernest, I'm not sure whether you know about Ernest, but Ernest is telling you that he loves your work. So thank you, Ernest.
Thank you very much, Ernest. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Amazing. So if you're watching this and you have any further comments, if you want to actually contribute towards the interview, if you have any questions for AMET, feel free to put it in the comment box, and we'll be more than happy to read it live as we go along. But at the moment, I'm showing some beautiful pieces by AMET. His colors are very vibrant. He uses the squeegee as a tool to paint, and he achieves some brilliant compositions. One thing I like is your storytelling ability. What really inspires you to tell these stories? I know you've mentioned that your surroundings and everything, but what really makes you paint these beautiful, beautiful pieces and tell us the story?
You know, I grew up in the 80s.
Okay.
I'm 84. So as I was growing up, I see things around me, the kind of places we go to, the things we see, and the kind of conversation I have with. I grew up with adults a lot, around adults.
Right.
So the kind of things they do and the kind of way they think and act makes me want to talk about my story in a way.
That's right.
That will get your. I don't want to talk about the work. The work it's self-explanatory. Sometimes you might see a work that I, the artist, might not be there. You will be able to explain the work in your own language. That's
right.
It also suits the work So mostly I want to let the audience know what they can see and be able to tell what they see. Yeah. So I like the subject in that kind of way.
I like that. So what I'm going to try and do is tell you what I see about the next two paintings. So on the left hand
Okay.
side, I see I see from my own interpretation a lady who is very confident in herself, just thinking
Yes.
about her world and just communicating with the viewer. It's like caught up in her own imagination. On the right hand
Okay.
side is like a very relaxing Saturday, just looking into the world, the sunshine coming from the window, in a very contemporary setting. And I like the leaves in the background as well. Did I do a great job?
Yes, you did a great job.
But that's my interpretation of it. So you done well by
You see,
letting me be able to interpret it my own way as well.
yes. So you feel free to tell your story through my work. You can tell your story through my work, and I might put a subject down and be like, "Oh no, this I can relate to this one because I've seen something like this before. I've been in something like this before. I've
Yeah,
done something like this before." You see, so those are the way you'll be able to communicate in my work. So
exactly. And I think you achieve it so beautifully. I mean, the next two paintings that I'm going to show, I think it's quite personal, isn't it? You did mention Anan, your friend, and the gentleman on the right hand side as well. We
yes,
all
that's
very well know. Do you
yes,
sometimes paint portraits of
yes,
people?
yes.
No. These two people are well living artists, I should say, and a curator as well.
Yes, yes. With Anana Forte being a friend, I decided to paint him. And
Mm,
with famous dog Diego, and
okay.
that he has been a very famous model in LA. So
All right.
as he went for a residency at the library, I painted him, and that's a work for him. And this one for Joseph. Joseph is
That's
one
right.
of the guys that I really admire, and he to the extent that I see he has come far.
Yes.
How he's carrying the art industry, holding Ghana high. It's something that you tend to you can't turn a blind eye to it.
Not at all.
You need to talk about it. You need to appreciate him, and you need to let people know that something is doing something great. And
Exactly.
he's also a very good friend. He's a very good friend, and sometimes you need to let people know what others are doing, and he's doing a very great job too as well. So we need to talk about. We need to encourage that. So
Exactly. So
this.
Joseph, for those of you that don't know Joseph, his full name is Joseph Ewadako. Check his Instagram page. His Instagram page is Okuntakinte,
Yes.
Okuntakinte, and he's doing a fantastic job. I mean, when it comes to promoting African art, he's one of the people that I look up to as well. He, over a period of time, is just inviting people for residencies, promoting every single artist from the Black origin. He's doing a fantastic. So Joseph, well done to you for the work that you're doing, and Ahmed, well done to you for the
Yes.
work that you've created of Joseph.
Thank you. Thank you.
And well done, well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so.
Right. So when it comes to storytelling, one thing that catches my eye is the amount of objects, in a painting. And I think you do that really well. I mean, layers in different paintings. Can you tell us about the one on the left and then we'll move on to the one on the right, which I really like?
Yes, the one on the left is mostly, we have fashionistas, people who normally like to, yes, model for pictures, take pictures,
Okay.
and people who wants to look good.
Hmm.
Sometimes you pose for a picture and you are like, wow, this one, I nailed it.
That's it.
So right now it has become a norm that people take pictures a lot. Those days it's there, it has been there, and they have a weird way of taking pictures those days. You can see somebody standing where in
I'm
the
telling
grass
you.
somewhere, and somebody standing on the wall somewhere.
Someone with a piece of power somewhere.
Yes, but now it has changed. Now we have models, we have fashionistas, we have ways of we go to the settings. Our settings has even changed in a way. So it's something to tell you that look, in my time now, in the year 2020, 2022, 2021, from 2015 going, this is what is happening. Things have changed. So 20 years to come, it might not be this way. It might be in a different way. So this one will tell you, okay, in his years, when my great-great-grandparent, my grandkids come, they will know that, oh, this is what was happening. This is how they were dressing in those years. You see? So it's something to put down to tell people that, no, in our time, this is what was happening. In some of the olden days, the way they dress can tell you this is the Stone Age people.
That's true. That's
this
true.
Is so we should be able to put down things that people will know that, oh, in this era of time, this is how they were dressing, this is how they look, this is how they leave their beard, the beard gang, and so those are some of the things I try to capture into my image as well. And also I try to put some of the backgrounds. I inculcate the walls, the old walls, and how they are a little bit rusted, and in the way that I add them up to it, because I'm 80s, so I have to put those kind of, I saw those ones also as well, so I fuse them to what I do. So I might have a little bit of old and new mixed up in my paintings.
Amazing. So now let's talk about the gentleman in the chair. I mean, this is so relaxing, isn't it? Looking at the painting alone, he's in a very relaxed mode. He's got his guitar in the background, coffee somewhere. It tells a whole complete picture. What inspired you to paint this one?
This man is his name is Efe Toure. Is a fashionista on Instagram. And when I saw this image, I really loved it. And the way it's relaxed, his posture, mode of sitting, drew my attention to the subjects, and I decided to work with that. And his posture with reading. I'm not fan of reading, but I do when I get my time, and I would love to do more as time goes on, to do more reading. So I tend to appreciate people when they read. The white man will tell you when you want to hide something from a black man, you put it in the book, but that is not it. You can see a lot of black people who have invented things, who have created things, who have read, who have wrote, and I think it's not as they say. So it's to portray a lot of black people with a book also as well. And I will tend to work with something like that. I have work that I'll be working on, people reading. It's reflected in my exhibition at Gallery 1957. So it's a trace with the works that I did in Gallery 1957. It's a collection of the works that I will be working on. So yes, so you have fashion, you have reader bibliophiles, you have this and that in so I'll pick one and work the whole subject on it. So it's some of the things that I'm looking up to. So I'll be working on people reading, especially the blacks. Yes.
Yeah. So is that what is happening in the future? Tell us more about what's in the pipeline, what you're cooking, projects that you're working on, and what we should look up to in terms of the works that you're going to bring along in future.
Yes, I think in the near future my works will evolve. And there will be adaptation, there will be adding up, there will be subtraction. And because you need to grow through what you do. You need to add up, subtract, and keep going. So as time goes on, I will be bringing more works, but I tend to take my time in planning of what to do and the
Okay.
kind of things that I will be producing, the kind of works that I will be working on. So that's also some of the challenges as time may come. I'm not a person that I woke up and decide to paint anything anyhow or any way. I want to think about it very carefully before I tend to bring it out. Because as I was telling you, sometimes some of my subjects, I want them to be more self-explanatory. Yes, because if you are not there, any other person can stand there and look at the work, look through deep, and they will give you their narrative on the work. And it might not conform with what you have, but have its own way of conforming.
Yes.
So, yes. So
I like the way you
some
put it.
those are some of the ways I try to look through my works and my subjects to get
amazing.
it that way. So as time goes on, I'm now working on a subject work that I'll bring it later. I'll be bringing teasers as time goes on, and I think you'll see how it unfolds.
Good. We can't wait. So there's a question that's come back from NX, and his question is that how do you push past discouragements or negativity to pursue your passion? How do you push past discouragement or negativity to pursue your passion?
Critics will come. It depends on how you take it. You see, if you don't get critics on your work, meaning it's dead. And you have a lot of critics on your work, or yes, people tend to, oh, this one is this, you tend to do it that way, meaning you are doing something.
Yes.
People don't talk about things that they don't. So I think when somebody criticizes your work, all you need to do is to sit down, you know what to pick, what not to pick. Okay, this one, you know what you are doing. It is your work, and you know how you want to go about it and what message you want it to convey. So you just sit down and look through it, what you can work with, what you don't want to work with. Then you pick the ones you can work with, because some of the things that people say actually sometimes makes sense a lot. So you have to analyze it, not argue with people when they're okay. I tend to okay, is this when they are talking? I tend to okay, that's good. Okay. Then later on, I might sit down and be looking through my work, looking through. Then I'm like, okay, I add this or I subtract it. What this person makes sense to me? Does it work confined with what I am doing? When it doesn't, no. When it does, fine. I will see where I can put some touches and or see where I can work towards that. So it is good for people to criticize your work, not to pull you down. Don't let anybody's words just push you down or tell you otherwise. Keep working, look through your work, and see how best you'll be able to communicate with other people, because it's not everybody that will like your work. Somebody might like abstract, somebody might like any other artist work, but you have some few people who might see your work and they will be like, wow, this is crazy. You see, so it's not everybody that will like your work though. So you shouldn't be discouraged or anything like that. Keep working and make sure you know what you are doing. And that is it.
Exactly. Make sure you know what you're doing. I think you've given us so much advice, but one more question before you go is what last word have you got to say to people who are trying to break into this art world? A lot of artists are just dabbling around, but what words have you got for them?
The thing is, what I would tell them is, me, all I do is, a friend will tell you, Nana Bruce will tell you, Ahmed, if you talk to him, he will tell you, Charlie, work. All you need to do is to work. So me,
I love that.
all I tell you, Charlie, because initially, you know what happened? When the industry was a little bit, we spoke about it. We sat down. A friend of mine, the few friends of mine, we sat down and we were like, how do we go about this? How do you do this? How do you do that?
Yeah.
But all I told him is, guys, please, let's go. We can't go to somebody and tell them, please go advertise my work for me, go and do this. Let's work. Right now, the market is open. We put it on social media. Your work will speak for you. So if you don't work, how does your work speak for you? So you work, make sure you work in the way that the work itself will bring people to you. So that's, for me, that's my philosophy. Because maybe I might not be able to reach out to you. I might not be able to reach out to you, but you saw my work and you are like, oh, okay, I want to interview this person. Or somebody will see my work and will, oh, this guy, I want to work with him. So if I don't work in a way that will draw you, then that is it. So
that is
me,
it.
For me,
and that's exactly what happened.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Your work spoke to me. I was looking at your work. Your work was the one that was speaking to me, and we connected seriously. So yes, your advice is very well taken. Once you work and put your work out there as an artist or a creative, your work will speak. So well done. Thank you so much. So right. So if people want to reach you, I've put your social media handles online, and can they also reach you through this email that you put on there?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, that's my email address.
Yeah.
And that's my yes. Instagram, Facebook is Daniel Ametefe Kukubor, and my email address is ametcreation@gmail.com. And also my Instagram account is Ametefe Kukubor. So you will find me all these 3 places.
Amazing. So guys, go and check him out. His work is amazing. I mean, there's more to even what I showed. There's more on his Instagram and his Facebook account. And then follow his journey because he's doing a great job. Amet, thank you so much for coming on today. We are so grateful.
Thank you so much for having me on your show. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad to be on your show.
You're welcome.
You are also doing a great job. Keep it up. You said?
I hope this will not be the last one because we'd like to follow your journey.
No. Yes.
Good. So thank you. We're going to sign up. Great. And then we'll catch up in the background.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Amet. Everyone say bye to Amet.
Bye-bye.
You go. Right. So that was Amet. Wasn't it a wonderful interview today where we got to hear of Amet's story? His paintings talk about his surroundings and life in general. His paintings are vibrant and, he tells a brilliant story through what he does. So for those of you that do not know about Amet, check him out once again on his Instagram account, Ametefe Kukubor. On Facebook is Daniel Ametefe Kukubor. And then you can also email him if you need a piece of his work. So today we've been having fun talking to another African creative. But if you want to know more about the interviews that I've done in the past, just go on my YouTube channel. If you type African Art with Eric, you'll find me and you get to know all the brilliant creatives from the Black community that I've been interviewing. So I've been interviewing people like Oluwole Omefemi, Richard Mensah, we have Wiskuodo, Ben Agbe, Patrick William Dodu, and a whole lot of people. Afia Prempe, we've got B. Arthur, and a whole lot. So just go on YouTube right now. And once you are there, do well to subscribe as well so that we can bring you a creative every single Saturday. So have a nice weekend and God bless you.